we are going to go over today how to do an in-text citation. We need to turn to page 308, chapter 16 in your St. Martin's Handbook. We're going to follow along how this explains it, and I'm going to show you in a piece of text that I've typed up. If we go to 16b in text citation, it says MLA style requires a citation in the text of an essay, and that's what you write for every quotation, paraphrase, summary, or other material requiring documentation. It says see 14b, so you need to go back and look at 14b. It tells how to what you need to document and use citations for. Parenthetical references, that's also another name. That's another name for in-text citation. And it shows how to do it on the next page. The basic MLA in-text citation includes the author's last name, either in a signal phrase or introducing the source material, or in a parentheses at the end of the sentence. If we have print sources like we do, you will have to use their page number. So if you turn the page to 310 in St. Martin's, you'll see the two examples we're going to use, 1 and 2, on pages 310 and 311. So you can look at that and then watch what I'm doing here. Now, I've got this set up just like you will. I've got my heading up here. I have my name, the class, the date, the problem solution essay, rough draft. And then you would put your title there. Now, this is not a rough draft essay. This is a lecture from my humanities, my Appalachian Studies course. So, but I just pulled it out and then I added some imaginary made up sources and citations just to show you how to do it. You will follow what's in your textbook though. So we're talking here in the introduction about the early Indians and adaptation of the adoption of gardening and pottery making. So I'm saying, in recognition of these and other changes that occur in the life of Indians, archaeologists have called the period following the adoption of pottery making and gardening the woodland period. Okay, let's highlight this. Okay, now this is not a direct quote. I did not copy the words of Jones into my text. This is a summary. This really could be a paraphrase. And what I've done, I've taken the idea of Jones and I put it in my own words. But the ideas are still Jones's. So you have to give her credit for her ideas. Just saying, well, I put them in my words, that doesn't mean anything. It's the person's ideas that you're stealing if you don't give them credit. And that's what plagiarism is, stealing someone else's ideas. So their words have to be, and that's what I said in the first essay. You have to put, you can't, in the summary, you can't just put it in your own words. Copy the words down and just change one or two words. It all has to be completely in your own words, keeping the ideas of the original. But it doesn't use quotation marks. I have put parentheses around the author's name. This is the author's last name. I got it from page 245. Where's the page number? I closed my parentheses and I put my period. I wish I had more light colors, and here's the other parentheses. So you don't put page, you don't put page number, you don't put anything. You put parentheses, last name, page number, close parentheses, period. There is no period here. This is the end of your sentence right here. Okay? Here's another paraphraser or summary from a person named Smith. The same thing. Here we have our parentheses, the last name of the author, the page number where I read it and summarized it. I close my parentheses and then I put a period to end my sentence. Okay, this gives this credit. Now, why do we do this? Well, the basic thing is to give a person, Sarah Jones in this case, credit for these ideas. She did a lot of research, she did a lot of work, and she found this out. And so we didn't, or you didn't, you just read this once, so you have to give this person credit so you're not stealing her ideas. Same way with Smith. You didn't do this research, you didn't have these ideas, you got it from him, so you're giving him credit for these ideas. The other thing is you want to be able to allow your readers to follow your research. Someone's read your essay, they really are interested. So Jones here, this case, you would be able to come down. I'm going to scroll right back up and say Jones. Here's the rest of the information. You'll be able to go into any library or Amazon or anywhere and get this information, right? And then when you get that information, guess what? You've got your page number and you can go to that page and find the exact words that you summarized. Now, I will tell you, when you do your essay on obesity and you're using the chapter in They Say, I Say, I will read those and I'll know how close you've gotten to your summary in your summary, so you make sure you try to do as well as you can in summarizing. It's like if you saw an accident happen, police officer comes up and said, tell me quickly what happened. Well, you don't go into detail and you don't act it out, but you say, well, this guy came running out through there, waving his arms and screaming, and this other woman came through there and she was talking on the telephone, on her phone, and before you knew it, she hit him. That's a summary of what happened, right? You do it all the time. You could do it in writing. Now, what if you see something, though, that is so important and so striking and such detail that you want to use a direct quote? There's a way to do that. In this case, we've used a signal phrase that tells who wrote the work. Then we go on and say, if you know who this person or what this person, how important they are, and usually sometimes you can see that in your introduction to the work. I'm going to see, let me look real fast. You can sometimes find this. In fact, you can find this at the beginning of all the essays in They Say, I Say, what this person is. And that gives them authority. She's an anthropologist at the University of Kentucky. Well, isn't that kind of authority and it more important than she's just a reporter for the Corbin Daily News or whatever? But we want to use her exact words. Well, there's a way to do it. And this way to do it is to use quotation marks. These quotation marks show that to the reader, these are the exact words this person said in her work. Because we've used her name here, we don't have to put, we don't put this because we've already had her name. We just put the page number where it came from. In this case, this page. Here, we have something that is a bracket. In the original, it was I started a sentence, but we don't put capitals in the middle of a sentence unless it's a proper noun. So to show that we have changed it to fit punctuation and grammar use, we changed them with brackets. And I think that's in the earlier chapter I've asked you to read. So this changes it to a small a with brackets. You do not use long quotations. I said in one of the writings that I put on there that the quotation can be no more than 3 lines long. That doesn't mean 3 sentences. It means 1, 2, 3 lines. So they must be shorter than 3 lines. Again, as I did up here, or I'm sorry, I hadn't told you about this. After all your quotations or summaries, you will make sure that you explain what this means. This explains the information that you have given that you have quoted or summarized. You have to tell the reader what this means. You can't just end with a quotation or a summary. This means, here we go, this means what? So you tell your reader. And we're going to, we'll do this one. In fact, according to the life and times of the woodland Indian, we see that this could be one of the reasons that Europeans thought that Kentucky land was empty of Indians. Okay, I haven't cited this. I have the name of the article, and in this case, there is no author. So you would put just the name of the article, but I think everything that you're going to be using this time has an author. But we don't have a page number. Where will we put it? Here's our summary. This is a summary. We would take that period out. We put a parentheses, page 45, close parentheses, period. So we know that this came from page 45 in the article, The Life and Times of the Woodland Indian. We want to read that. We can be able to find it here. It's out of the Indians and Nations of North America. And then we explain it to the reader, why we used it and what it meant. So let's talk, we talk a little bit about what we're trying to get across here. The first thing you say here, the first thing you write is what you put in the either citation, this is called a parenthetical citation, parentheses, or in your signal phrase, then your page number. Here's your name of the article. Okay, I hope this helps. Please follow your in St. Martin's on page 310, 311, 1 and 2. I think that's the only ones you'll need. It shows you how to do a signal phrase, and it shows you how to do a parenthetical citation. As always, I'll be glad to help you in any way, and just let me know if you need any help.